Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about clear quartz. Now, as a professional crystal healing practitioner for over 12 years, I would have to say that clear quartz, without a doubt, is my number one favorite healing stone. This stone is magnificent. Now, if you only had one crystal in your kit, I would recommend it to be quartz, and I'm going to tell you why. So first of all, clear quartz, as its name suggests, is clear. When we're working with crystals, a lot of what we gain from crystals and the energy that the crystal embodies can be determined by how they look and what their structure is like. So, for example, rose quartz, which is a really soft pink color, is very much associated with love and softness and gentleness, just like the color soft pink. So you would paint a new baby girl's room soft pink. You wouldn't really associate the color soft pink with rage and anger and energy and all of those really strong feelings. So what the crystal looks like really gives us an idea as to what its energy is like as well. Now, with clear quartz, being clear, it really is like a blank slate. So, oh my gosh, there's so much to love about this stone. So let's start at the beginning, shall we? Well, let's just first talk about what clear quartz looks like. So quartz itself can be all different colors depending on what additional minerals are in the quartz. So clear quartz is, as its name suggests, it's clear. Here's a good example. But the level of clarity can really vary from stone to stone. So some clear quartzes are actually really milky and they're not really transparent at all. So they've still got healing energy, but I prefer the really crystal clear stones because I find that better embodies the quality of clarity, and it's a much higher, sharper vibration. If you think about a murky, opaque color compared to a really clear color, the clear color is going to carry that energetic vibration much faster. So when you're working with clear quartz, my first tip is to always source quartz that is as clear as possible, unless you find a piece that you absolutely have to have because you resonate with it. It might have some patterns or colors in it that you really adore. So by all means, use your intuition there. But if you're looking for a piece of clear quartz that just really embodies the power of what clear quartz can bring, then go for a really clear piece. And what else I love about quartz is it can be clear, but it can also have lots of amazing inclusions and interesting cracks and patterns inside the stone. I always look for those flaws because people are like crystals. We're not perfect, we're flawed, and I much prefer a natural clear quartz. I'll show you one here. I'll talk about this piece later, but this one's got all kinds of gnarly bumps and cracks and little crystals growing off it, and it's very imperfect, but that's what makes it amazing, much nicer than a wand that's just been shaped and polished and it's exactly the same, facets and sides on each end, and it's just a little too perfect for me. So I really tend to be drawn to clear quartz that has a personality and tells a story. What I'm going to be talking about in this video, though, are 5 features of clear quartz that I love and what these features bring additionally to the clear quartz healing. So clear quartz itself, all pieces of clear quartz, so it's great for healing, cleansing on all levels, physical, mental, emotional. It's great for channeling clarity, so working on the higher chakras like the third eye and the crown. A really clear piece for channeling clarity of vision, clarity of path, decision making. It's very cleansing on all the chakras, so you can place it all over the body for cleansing. It helps to filter electromagnetic pollution, and it can be programmed unlike just about any other crystal. So because it's clear, it's like a blank canvas or a clear slate. So you can work with it through meditation to actually program the crystal with your own intention. Obviously, the intention has to be of a high vibrational place and a place of integrity. We can't intend to turn I'm sure my son would like to program his quartz to turn his sister into a toad or something like that, but it ain't gonna happen. You have to program it with your positive intentions, because crystals are light workers. They're never going to help you manifest anything that comes from a low vibrational point. If it does manifest, more likely or not, it will only bring disappointment to you rather than anyone that you may be trying to affect. So highest vibration, working with programming Clear Quartz through meditation. And Clear Quartz is also piezoelectric. So piezoelectricity is a characteristic of quartz that was discovered by a couple of French brothers called Jacques and Pierre Curie. And it basically means that clear quartz can transmute mechanical energy into measurable electrical pulses and vice versa. You can do a lot more research on that, and I might do a video at some stage discussing piezoelectricity. But in the meanwhile, do your own research because it's fascinating. I'm sure you really enjoy reading about it. So that brings me to my number 5 property of clear quartz, which is that it is programmable. So I've got a little piece here. This is a really nice clear piece. You can see it's got beautiful faces. It's very clear. I would work with a piece like this and it stands up on its own. I would work with a piece like this for programming. So I would hold the piece in my palm and place my hand over the top, hold it to my heart or at my crown or third eye for sending my intention directly into the stone. The heart is for sending your heart's desires. And just through regular meditation, just sending into the stone your intention for it. So let's say perhaps you're working towards an exam that you really want to pass. Let's say you're in high school, you're working really hard towards passing an exam, and you can work with the quartz to visualize yourself passing that exam and thinking with clarity and precision and the answers coming to you during that moment. And you can do this over a period of time, strengthening that intention within the stone. When it's time to do the exam, you can take the stone with you and watch it do its work and watch how that programming really takes effect and manifests on the physical plane. Number 2 is I love clarity. I don't like mess. I don't like feeling confused. I love having a clear vision. I love being able to speak clearly, understand clearly. I really prize clarity as a value, I guess. Clarity is a really important value of mine. So I love working with a very crystal clear piece of quartz. This is one of my favorites. This is just so clear. And when I'm working with clients or myself, if I'm trying to get the answers or see the outcome clearly of something or understand something clearly, I work with it on my crown or my third eye. And I will just place it there and I will just let those energies of clarity really absorb into my mind's eye, into my brain, into my crown chakra, and really soak up those properties. So clarity comes in a lot of different forms. Clarity, like I mentioned, it can be seeing a situation for what it really is. It can be speaking clearly. So if you're a public speaker or a leader in your workplace and you need to speak to people or explain things to people on a regular basis, then clarity is going to be very important. Understanding things, that perhaps there's confusing things going on in your life. Perhaps you're going through a relationship breakup and you don't understand why it's happening. Clarity can help you come to that point of understanding. Also, I find that without clarity, I waste a lot of time because I to and fro and I don't think clearly. So clarity is actually great for time saving and doing jobs quickly and efficiently and, you know, with precision. And I think that's a really important quality to have. So that's how I use clear quartz for channeling clarity as well. Number 3 is rainbows. Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. That was really silly. I don't know why I just did that. Sorry guys, subjecting you to my singing. Anyway, I better channel some more clarity. Hold on, I'm getting off track. Okay, let's do this. So number 3, rainbows. Now, crystals, especially clear quartz, but crystals in that have that clear quality like citrine, amethyst, they get cracks and like distress marks in them as they're growing and as they come under pressure or trauma. And not always, but sometimes, if you're lucky, you'll find crystals where those internal cracks have actually created a prism-like effect, and it fills the crystal with rainbows. It is absolutely amazing. So I'm just trying to see if I can capture the rainbows for you. It's very hard when you're filming to actually get, oh, is that a little, you might just have to believe me on this, but this crystal actually has, yeah, I don't know that I can show you the rainbows. This crystal actually has amazing rainbows inside it where it's cracked in here, and it just flashes with pink and purple and blue. It's really spectacular. So the reason why rainbows are really beautiful to work with is because they remind us that injury, challenge, trauma, flaws can be transformed into something beautiful. I love working with rainbows when I'm working with clients who are really down on themselves, who don't forgive themselves easily, who beat up on themselves, or who maybe have had a significant trauma, or whether that be emotional or physical. Perhaps there's a physical scarring happening, let alone in emotional scarring. But the rainbows really show us and embody that energy of it's okay to be cracked, it's okay to be flawed. You can create something so beautiful. You can create rainbows from your cracks and flaws. Never try to hide them, and never try to patch them up and cover them up. Just let them shine and be what they are, and use it for growth and betterment. And I love that about rainbows in quartz. So if you find a clear quartz with a rainbow in it, snap it up. It's a treasure, and it really brings an additional level to your healing. It's great for working with clients with depression, low self-esteem, emotional trauma, and anyone who's really just having a crap day. We all have those days where we beat up on ourselves. Quartz with rainbows reminds us to be just our shiny, amazing selves. And there's always a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. Isn't that how the story goes? You know, if we can actually come to that journey of cracking and then creating the rainbows and then finding that pot of gold at the end, I think that's really a significant metaphor for the healing journey of breaking apart, putting ourselves back together, and eventually finding the gold within ourselves. So yes, number 3 on the, was that number 3? 1, 2, 3. Yes, number 3 on the list. Number 4 on the list of why I love clear quartz is I love Lemurian quartz. Now, a lot of quartz that you see will be short and fat points like this, or like this one, short fat points. Lemurian quartz is actually very long. Now, this hasn't been shaped. This is natural. This naturally grows like this. So you don't really see it against the white background. There we go. What differentiates a Lemurian seed quartz is that at least one side of it will be ribbed. It'll have like these little lines that you can feel when you run your finger along it. It'll be very long and thin. It'll have a very pointy tip. So this would even be called a laser quartz because of the point is so pointy. And I find these quartz crystals are my favorite healing tools to be used as wands. So this is a very small piece. I normally work with pieces that are quite a bit bigger than this, but they're fantastic for doing really fine energy work. I find that a lot of other wands that you see commercially that are quite thick and have the points on the end, they're a bit, they're not fine and delicate healing tools. It's a bit like trying to do open heart surgery with a pair of scissors. Whereas these would be more, similar to a sharp scalpel. So it's just a lot more precise and refined, and that tip just channels energy like a laser beam. So for doing psychic surgery, for working on, like I can actually feel the heat coming off this crystal at the moment. If you've got a headache, just spiraling the crystal at that point of pain and drawing it out of your body. It's very precise. So Lemurian Seed quartz or laser quartz, if it's really pointy and long, is my number 2 favorite type of quartz for using on precise healing work. And my number 1 favorite feature of quartz is its ability to self-heal. So once again, difficult to see, but I wonder if I touch it, will it focus in more on this piece? No, it's not happening. All right, so this quartz was broken off at some point, and it has since grown a whole heap of little crystals on itself. You might just have to freeze it and zoom in. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to show you, but so these bits growing off the side are not the self-healing. So these are barnacle crystals growing off the side. They're separate crystals. A self-healed crystal is a crystal that has been snapped off or broken off at some point, and then it actually grows a cluster of brand new little crystals. So if I was able to zoom in close enough, you would see that this has a whole heap of little pointy new crystals growing out of it. So never make the mistake of thinking that crystals are just, dead, lifeless lumps of mineral. They are living beings. In fact, Nikola Tesla has a very famous quote saying that crystals are living beings at the beginning of creation. So crystals are just a little slower evolving than what humans are, or animals or plants. So humans, animals, and plants, we change very rapidly. If we cut ourselves, we heal over a period of days. Whereas crystals transform and evolve over hundreds and thousands of years. So, you might have a crystal for 10 years and it stays the same. Whereas some people will have a crystal and notice that it's changing over a few years. It changes color, it changes shape, and that's really just a testament to the fact that these are living beings and the cells within a crystal replicate itself. And crystals that are broken off can grow again. And I love what that brings energetically to a healing, because it reminds us, similar to the rainbows, that even if we are cut down, we can always regrow. We are never, ever without the ability to regenerate ourselves. So humans and all living beings have an amazing ability to regenerate and blossom and grow. And using a self-healed crystal in a healing session brings that quality to the session. So use a self-healed quartz for someone who is going through that rebuilding process. So perhaps it's someone who has recently been divorced and kind of lost themselves in that process, and now they're finding who they are again. The self-healed quartz would be amazing for that. Someone maybe who was abused in childhood and has done a lot of healing work and is blossoming, and who has rebuilt themselves as a human being, would really work well with a self-healed piece of quartz. So that's what I love about clear quartz. It's pretty amazing. It's so much more than just a rock. And get some in your collection, guys. So if you're new to this channel, my name's Kate Mantello. I'm a master crystal therapist with over 12 years experience. I'm also the founder of Evolve Healing Institute, which is a global online healing institute, and we train crystal healing practitioners all around the world. Our practitioner courses are accredited in 26 countries worldwide, so you can be guaranteed that you're getting the absolute best training. What I bring to the table that is different to what you might find elsewhere is that I'm also a qualified art therapist, holistic counselor. I do Reiki, I do pranic energy healing, and I have put all of these wonderful healing modalities into one healing modality, which I have called Transpersonal Crystal Healing. And it is crystal healing, but so much more. So I look at crystal healing from an emotional level, a psychological level, a spiritual level, an energetic level, and I go much deeper than perhaps you may otherwise be familiar with. So if you like the channel, please stick around. Don't forget to subscribe. You can connect with me on Instagram and Facebook, or you can even send me an email if you've got questions. And I've got some great freebies on the website, www.evolvehealing.net. See you later. I'm a master crystal therapist with over 12, I was about to say 12,000 years experience.